A seized computer of a top ARSA Mujahideen leader and captured hard drives and mobile phones reveal astonishing data and intel. Over 700 high-quality videos on the computer show 1. Secret training camps deep in the Mayu Mountains of northern Rakhine State, where Bengali Muslims learn about and train with weapons and explosives. 2. The training of Bengali Muslim militants in Saudi Arabia, the biggest sponsor of the militants, where they will learn ambush, hostage-taking, and assassination techniques, among other things. 3. There are long meetings spoken in Bengali language held in Saudi Arabia with the secret Rohingya Arakkani Mujahideen Council that directs the propaganda, the supremacist ideology, the training, and the funding for the Bengali Muslims. 4. There are dozens of videos and photos that show the village support system that provides food, medicine, and basic necessities to the militants who are training in the secret Mayu mountain camps. 5. There are interviews and testimonials with various militants who clearly state their brutal and supremacist goals. 6. There are documents showing technical info about C3, C4, RDX, TNT, and PETN explosives and how to use them effectively. 7. There are hundreds of videos concerning making many types of weapons, explosives, landmines, the mixing of poisonous chemicals, close-quarter combat, knife-fighting techniques, etc. And there are dozens of videos showing ISIS-type groups torturing and killing in the most gory and sickening manners. 8. There is much revealing data about the network of Mujahideen activists and frontmen in the West who use their language skills, academic positions, and political savvy to influence and manipulate world opinion and to fool the world with their deceitful connections with media, world leaders, NGOs, and academic mouthpieces. Due to the fact that this is an ongoing operation, we must be very vague about how the computer was seized, where, and when. At an appropriate time, we can release more info about it. We have been very busy for 5 months examining, categorizing, and translating the massive amount of incriminating data on the computer and other seized items, including hard drives, memory sticks, and mobile phones. The computer belonged to Rashid Ullah, the elder brother of Atta Ullah, the commander-in-chief of ARSA. Rashid Ullah was said to be number 2 commander. Rashid, like his brother Atta, was born in Pakistan and raised in Saudi Arabia, where he plotted and raised funds using his deep Saudi and Pakistani connections. The computer is full of his personal items, such as photos of his wife and children, his car, and his Saudi license plate, his colleagues, his fake ID cards, etc. This mountain of evidence is at or on the way to UN agencies, the International Criminal Court, the International Court of Justice, embassies and intelligence agencies of the USA, UK, Australia, Thailand, India, and more. This data haul shows clear complicity with Saudi Arabia. and we expect Saudi Arabia to cooperate in identifying and routing out the terrorists who are being trained, armed, and financed on their soil for the purpose of subverting and seizing land of a sovereign nation. After learning of and hearing the Muslim militants' anthem, I will go into more detail of the major categories of the intel. The anthem of the Rohingya Arakkani Mujahideen.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Arkan, Arhana nahi arekan, Gunaha hataikan, Arkan, 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 Arkan. Mata tadi kapan? Diunde jan, diunde arkan, 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 arkan. Takbir. Allah. Takbir. Allah. Takbir. Allah. Lenggarkan mujahidin. Lenggarkan muslimin. Lenggarkan mujahidin. Takbir. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah lenggarkan mujahidin.
More details of militants training in the Mayu Mountains. There are nearly 100 high-quality videos and hundreds of photos taken at the secret training camps. This particular training camp was deep in the Mayu Mountains, roughly between Gudarpien in Butidong Township and Tare Konbong in Mongdaw Township. It was mentioned by Rakhine, Tet, and Khmer villagers, which I interviewed on several occasions in their mountain villages. They described how some of their villagers disappeared while foraging in the deep forests and mountains for snails and other products, and sometimes the subsequent searches would discover some of the maze of training camps and smuggling routes. This camp was on the northern smuggling route and was also mentioned in confessions by captured ARSA militants who described in great detail the quantities of swords, guns, ammo, and cash that were smuggled and concealed along these routes in hidden underground bunkers and tunnels. I myself found one such bunker in Chaukpandu in southern Mongdaw Township. Rashid Ullah, with help and protection, snuck across the Bangladesh border into Rakhine State and traveled to this remote training camp in the Mayu Mountains. More details about militants training in Saudi Arabia. There are over 100 high-quality videos taken at training locations in Saudi Arabia. Rashid Ullah is clearly in charge of everything as he directs the training with weapons and hostage-taking, ambush, and assassination techniques. Although they are in Saudi Arabia, the language spoken is Chittagong dialect Bengali, exactly what the so-called Bengali Rohingya speak. And they chant the same anthem in Rakhine State and in Saudi Arabia. More details of the long meetings with the council in Saudi Arabia. There are hours of videos, now fully translated, taken at long meetings held in Saudi Arabia, spoken in Bengali language, with the secret Rohingya Arakani Mujahideen Council that directs the propaganda and the supremacist ideology, the training, and the financing of the Bengali Muslims. Items of interest discussed include using and manipulating various world media, using their corrupt connections in the UN, OIC, and EU, and firmly asserting that they will not work together with or strive for peace with, nor negotiate with Burmese or Rakhine Buddhists in any way, shape, or form. These many videos of the long meetings in Saudi Arabia clearly show the systematic planning that the Bengali Muslims pursued, with foreign influence also. More details of the village support system. 100 videos and photos show Bengali Muslim villagers at the secret training camp in the Mayu Mountains with dozens of bags of rice, beans, vegetables, and meat to sustain the militants at the camp. This reinforces the facts that show the intimate relationship between ARSA militants and Muslim villagers. More details of the statements of individual fighters. There are many video interviews with individual fighters who express their violent bravado with AK-47s in their hands. Several of them also disclose that they work together with the AA, the Arakan Army. More details about the network of Mujahideen activists and frontmen, mostly in the West. In this photo we have, from left to right, Tun Kin, born and also known as Zial Ghaffar, from Butitang, Rakhine State, Myanmar, founder and president of the Burmese Rohingya organization UK, also known as BRO-UK. He is a frontman for Harakat al-Yaqin /ARSA/Mujahid groups in UK. Number 2 person is Wan Muhammad Nur Matta, a Thai Muslim, former Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand. Allegations of close and secretive ties with Islamic militants in southern Thailand who are fighting a jihad for separation from Buddhist Thailand. 3. Matthew Smith, a founder and CEO of a controversial and notorious so-called human rights group. 4. Mohammed Anwar Ruwagam Munir Ahmad, also known as Muhammad Anwar Akhtar, or simply Anwar, born in Butitang, Rakhine State, lives and travels often between Bangkok and Saudi Arabia. Mujahideen frontman allegedly involved in weapons buying, financing, bribing Thai officials, ordering assassinations. There are many more photos of these people, as well as others, associating with known terrorists and jihadists who are supporting the Bengali Muslims' jihad and land grab in Rakhine State. This mountain of evidence, of which you've just seen a small part, is very, very strong enough to turn this whole issue around. Who systematically planned war? Who systematically planned a genocide? Who has a supremacist ideology that is so intolerant and hateful towards others? The Bengali Muslims, with the assistance of the Muslim